Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is for you. Thank you so much for being here today with me. Today I want to talk about leaky energy. I love talking about leaky energy, and it's a subject that I think so many people aren't really aware of enough in their life, of how it's impacting their level of happiness, their level of emotional fulfillment, their level of energy and happiness in their life. And it's a really important conversation in the world of masculine and feminine energies and finding that inner balance between the two, the harmony. Again, that word harmony. Last week, that word harmony was really coming through for me, and it still is. And if you really think about it, when you have work to heal and balance your masculine and your feminine, and they are then inside of you working together, collectively together, integrating, collaborating, partnering together, it is harmony, right? That inner conflict, if you really look down at the root of the problem, whenever we have inner conflict with ourselves, that conflict, which is obviously the opposite of harmony, whenever that conflict is happening, it's just a matter of some wounded aspect of the feminine or masculine that is creating non-harmony and chaos and conflict, and the two of them not working together well. Sorry, I'm being distracted. My cat is licking my foot right now. It's like really being difficult to concentrate. Really real right here, people. My cat Willow licking my toe. She's so funny. She is such a licker. Does anyone else who have cats, like, it's almost like she's a dog with the amount of licking. She also plays fetch. So, oh, you probably heard her bell. So, does anyone else out there have a cat who has dog-like characteristics? Because this cat cracks me up with her dog-likeness sometimes, like really, truly. Anyway, back to the idea of leaky energy for today, right? What is leaky energy? Leaky energy. It's really interesting to me. I'm going to take a sidestep for a hot minute here, how our physical bodies are so good at really communicating with us deeper truths internally that are happening, things inside of us that may be out of balance, that are not in harmony, that are not in partnership internally. And our external, the body, is really amazing at trying to gently nudge us in the right direction and bring awareness to parts of ourselves that need attention, need love, and need to be brought back into harmony and healing, right? And leaky energy, it's kind of funny. Leaky energy is one of those as well that may manifest in a rather inconvenient way with the body. But has anyone ever heard of leaky gut? Leaky gut, it's kind of funny because it's very similar type energy if you really get down to the basics of what's happening. I'm not going to get into that. I'm not here. I wasn't planning on talking about the physical body, but I just wanted to drop a seed of thought, of awareness, to maybe pay closer attention to your body and to not just go at a surface level of thinking, oh, I have this annoying, it's not really anything significant, health problem or something's going on with my body, but it's not really like a big deal. So I'm kind of just going to be like, whatever with it, right? And a lot of times we tend to just do the thing that kind of puts a band-aid on it and stops the symptoms, right? So it's like if you're having issues in the bathroom, you may do something that may stop those issues in the bathroom, instead of understanding that there might be an emotional, energetic truth underneath or behind that symptom, that your body is gently trying to nudge you in the direction of paying attention to what's happening internally, emotionally, energetically. Because again, energy, emotions, same difference. Emotions are simply energy in motion, right? And psychologically speaking, you may have heard of this. I love this mindset shift around psychology, particularly around parenting. I have 2 boys. And it is, when you're looking at someone's behavior and it's this behavior that appears to be not what you would want to see from someone, right? And particularly with children, it's very easy to see them acting out in ways that we think are inappropriate or that we don't want, and we think we need to change or fix or parent them or mother them or whatever, right? When you see those unacceptable behaviors, instead of looking at the behavior, can we look behind it and recognize there is a need that is not being met by the child, in this case, parenting by the child. And if we look at the need behind it that is manifesting as a rather uncomfortable and unpleasant behavior in our faces, if we look at it as there is some unmet need by this child, what is the need? And if I am able to supply that need, the behavior goes away. It's the same with the body. Clearly, I was not planning on talking this today, but apparently this is what needed to come out. I am trusting my guidance that this is what needs to be heard today. So here we go. It's the same with the symptoms of the body. If you have a physical symptom, muscle pains in a particular area, bathroom issues that keep manifesting in a particular way, headaches, that was a big one for me, headaches. And a lot of it is hereditary. We say that too. Like headaches, migraines in my family, everyone has them. And so it's easy to blame the passing down of the genes. But what if it's an opportunity for ancestral healing again? What if that is an opportunity for you to take the healing baton for your family, for your ancestral line, for your legacy, and to stop that, to figure out what's happening behind that physical thing that everyone in my family seems to struggle with? What if you're here to be the disruptor? And if your body is consistently and regularly and frequently showing you some unpleasant behavior, let's say, can we look at the need behind it? Because the body has a tendency to just get louder and louder until you really hear it. And that, again, I've shared this in previous YouTube videos. That is my story, and that is so many other women's stories that I hear, is that it takes some significant physical body falling apart, significant health crisis to get our attention, to realize something is very wrong in my life. I am not living an authentic life. Something is very wrong, and I need to start looking at my life and how I actually truly feel about it, instead of continuing to just shove all that stuff down and doggedly going in this direction that my heart and my soul does not want me to be going down, and my body's trying to get my attention, and I'm ignoring it and stuffing it down until some major health crisis happens that you can't avoid looking at, and a new path is chosen. And that is what brought me into the world of feminine energy. So my passion, my biggest passion, is to speak about feminine energy. However, we can't have healthy feminine energy without healthy masculine energy as well internally. Because again, it's that partnership, the inner harmony, the yin and the yang, working together collaboratively in partnership to create a life that does feel really emotionally fulfilled and satisfied, peaceful, happy, joy, blissful, whatever the words are that really resonate with your heart. So back to the idea of leaky energy. It's a really simple concept, but it's these little simple tweaks of awareness that end up compounding into transformation and massive change in our external lives and reality. And then in that transformation comes the emotional fulfillment, right? And self-worth is built along the way, because it's like, oh my God, look what I did. Look at how much I managed to change my life. I am so proud of myself. Look at how far I've come, right? So leaky energy is really simple. Again, really simple. And in our world, particularly here in America, there are so many distractions. and so much external things inviting you or tempting you to stimulate you to hook into your energy and to get your attention. Your attention is your energy. Wherever you put your focus or your attention or your thoughts or your emotions, you are connecting energetically and creating an energetic tie with that thing. And if you have too many energetic ties and you're not clear and concise and intentional and mindful and very conscious of what you are energetically creating ties with, you're going to get into this space of leaky energy. And think about it. If you're really on a path of really looking for emotional fulfillment and a life that feels really high value, a life that feels really authentic and good, and you feel so confident in, and you feel, again, that harmony. I don't know why that word is so powerful right now, but for me, that word peace and harmony, you're gonna have to be very clear and concise with your energy. And leaking your energy into all these little pools that maybe give you temporary satisfaction, or they may give you a quick, easy hit of gratification, or they may temporarily or quickly get you out of a state of anxiety or give you an answer to a problem right here, right now, because you need the answer right here, right now. You know, all these things, these are impulsive, self-sabotaging, instant gratification type things that are not sustainable and long-term satisfaction again. And creating these tiny little ties where you dip into it, and you're not pouring your heart and your soul into these things. They're just little habits maybe that you do, that you've created, that are leaking, sucking little strings of energy out of you. And let's look at this in the realm of the kitchen, okay? Because for me, this is very relatable. I hope it's very relatable to you too, right? I do not consider myself to be great in the kitchen. I do the best that I can, and I really cook very simply. I cook very healthily. I like to cook real foods in the kitchen. Anyone who knows me knows that. And I like to really work on being nutrient dense in my eating for myself and my children. But if I'm in the kitchen, right, and I have all these pots and pans going on at once, like all 4 or 5 burners, 6 burners, whatever you get going on, right? If you're depending on your oven, your stove, you have all these pots and pans and things going on and all these things cooking at once. For me anyway, it's really hard to make sure that everything is done perfectly, right? If you want to make a masterpiece of a meal, it's really hard if you have all these pots and pans going and you need to watch all these different pots and pans going, and maybe you're texting or talking on the phone at the same time, so you have that happening over there, and then you have a child over here who's working on their homework and they're coming in and talking to you and wanting help with their homework, and so you're juggling all these different things at once. The actual meal that you make, again, at least in my world, is not gonna be this like flawless masterpiece. And again, it's not about being perfect or flawless. I hope you understand the point of what I'm making here. The meal that you make isn't going to be as much of a masterpiece as if you slowed down, removed the distractions, focused your energy on one thing at a time, and maybe it would take you a little bit longer because you're being more concise with each thing. But the end result is something far more beautiful and probably more nutritious because you're going to be thinking and really focusing on it. And I don't know about you, but again, if I'm in my kitchen and I'm really in it, as I'm working and cooking or baking something, other inspirations come in that I add to it so that it becomes even more magical and expansive and wonderful of an eating experience. It becomes bigger than what I had originally planned when I'm really thinking about and pouring my heart into the project at hand. So in our lives, it's the same thing. If you have too many things all at once that you're juggling, everything is only getting part of your energy instead of your full attention. This also comes along with the idea of multitasking, obviously. I'm tiptoeing in that direction as well. They kind of overlap here. Multitasking. And how if you're multitasking, it's a lot harder to create a better quality result of the things when you have too many things that you're trying to do all at the same time. And our minds also don't work well that way. Our minds actually literally need transition time from one segment or project or focal point to the next focal point. And too often we jump from one to the other without fully energetically disconnecting from the previous one. And then we jump right into the next one, and it wears on you. And this creates, again, the lack of energy and tiredness and exhaustion and burnout, because we're not respecting the energetic processes of our bodies and our beings and our spirits. The two bits of ourselves, the human and the spirit, they're not in harmony. They're not in collaboration with each other's strengths, supporting each other's strengths to make a being that is the fullest expression of self, the highest expression of self. Where are you leaking energy throughout your day in these little things that aren't actually really helping with the big picture of your life? These little things that may feel good, but are they really contributing to the fullest magnitude of your vision and your manifestation for your life? I think I mentioned this a few weeks ago. I have a sticky note here on my desk in my planner, and I really love it because it brings me back to that same kind of a thought. When I'm looking at investing my energy in something or making a decision about something, does this really fulfill me? And to me, the word fulfillment is a deep word. Fulfillment is not about a momentary happiness that just goes fleeting on by and, ooh, I had a high, happy moment and now I'm on to the next thing. No, fulfillment is something that is long-term and lasting and feeds me, my heart and my soul. Does this really fulfill me? Does this serve my highest good? Does this really align with my heart's desires, the ones that are out there, and they may not be right here, right now. But if I'm really focusing on not giving into this leaky energy mindset, I'm going to hold back and wait for the thing that really does lead me to my heart's desires, and not leak in these superficial, temporary little hits that are so temporary and don't really fulfill me. It's emptiness. It's kind of like the idea of empty calories, right? Like my kids talk about that all the time. Someone, I don't know who it was, someone told them about calories and different, nutritional facts with food. And so now they have all these questions about food, and I'm having to work through all of these mindsets around food and diet that I do not agree with, that a lot of people do. And really explain to them it's not about the calorie intake necessarily. It's about the quality of the food intake and choosing in that manner. Am I eating foods that are really worth it and are really feeding me? Or am I just taking these quick little convenient little hits of whatever to get the job done, but it's actually not really nurturing me, feeding me? And as I think we all know or figure out at some point in our adult lives, if I don't feel good in my body, it's very hard to show up in the world emotionally, mentally, energetically. It's very hard to show up in the world out there as I really want to if I physically don't feel well. So what I'm putting into my body has to, again, be very clear and concise and under the realm of, does this really nurture me, feed me, fulfill me, help support me in showing up in the world emotionally, energetically, mentally, in the space I want to be showing up as? Leaky energy. What energetic ties do I need to cut off from engaging in? Because they're not actually feeding me, nurturing me, fulfilling me. They're not actually helping me get to the thing. And that's, again, that's the manifestation trust aspect of being willing to wait and not just taking the quick little temporary, easy to get thing that's right there in front of you, but instead holding out and waiting for the bigger reward out there because you know it's worth it and you know it's there, and you just have to hold this energetic space for it to come in. Holding, and that's where the healthy masculine comes in. Holding the space, holding the space until the energetics come in. And that is manifestation, trust. I hope this video helped. I went a little bit longer than normal. I hope you guys are still here. If you found value in this video, please do like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. Tell me what you appreciated the most about this video, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks so much.